about you, baby. Yeah, I'm mad about you.
Hey, this is Time Bomb, and if it's your first time checking out the channel, hit that subscribe button for daily updates. Thanks a lot for joining me today. This is episode 2 of the Madden Ultimate League breakdown, and this is a little podcast for you where it's kind of going to be interactive. I'm going to be doing some video stuff, some stuff where I'm just talking, just kind of mixing it up. Later on, I'll probably have some different interviews with some different guests when I can, but right now I just wanted to kind of start off by recapping what's going on in the league, highlighting some different areas, and then talk about the upcoming week. So we are just coming off of week 4, and we should take a look at some of the highlights from these games right here. So EA has put together this little package. We see number 10, Dreeny versus True. He's on the 1 yard line here. He's been running a ton all game long. True Boy run commits, and Dreeny's able to just pass it right over him, put it into the end zone, quickly get a score on him, and he's hyped about that. Now Chaos he's had all losses so far, and facing Problem, you kind of expected it to be the same, but somehow he managed to get a lead, and in the fourth quarter gets a huge run right up the gut there to get finally a big 6 and go up by more than 2 scores, gets 2 to go up by 2. And there we see True Boy going deep on Joke and able to get a big score. Joke can't believe it, which is uncharacteristic of True Boy running the ball. We see here with Dubby using that Vic stick and hurdling in, getting untouched into the end zone, doing a little dance moves afterwards. Good job on Dubby. So we've been playing pretty well lately. Same game, Tweez going up top deep. I feel like he got a bit lucky on that play because he goes back to it quite a few times, and Dubby's going to shut him down. We're going to go more into Dubby's defense later. Here we got Dreeny versus True, that same game. This time Dreeny with the ball, getting sticky with it. He's going to make his way into the end zone, get a big score. Wasn't that good. He just kind of worked through traffic. Number 5, I don't think it was deserving. Just wanted him in there. Here we go. Tweez going deep over the top against True Boy. That was huge. Dang, how do you find that post road? We got Echo Fox Joke versus Musafa, and what do we see here? Safa blocks a field goal. You got to have that timing. If your opponent isn't paying attention, it can my first weekend league, I was going to go up 13-10 in the last 2 minutes, and it gets blocked. I end up losing 17-10. It was heartbreaker. Here we go. Problem. Same game versus Chaos. He gets that big truck, and then he's pretty much gone. No one to beat. I feel like, we had the overpowered spin move, but now we just have this overpowered truck, and that's what we're seeing so much. And here we see Dreeny versus Musafa. Musafa's got the ball. He's looking up top versus Dreeny. He doesn't have enough coverage deep on him. 3 men there, but not enough behind him. He gets up top and puts it in. Huge score. Man, you got to look so far at what Musafa has done. He started off the league 0-3 and has just been on a tear since then. We should actually take a look at the standings after this week. So you can see right now in Division A of the Legend Conference, Echo Fox Joke 4-3, Dreeny also 4-3, Tweez is 3-3, Dot City Chaos 1-5, Problem 4-2. This is in the B division. Problem's leading it at 4-2. Musafa's now in second at 4-3. Dubby's right there at 3-3, and then True Boy at 3-4. So, some between 3 and 4 games remaining for all these players. Chaos could still go 5-5. Tweez, he could go 5-5. Echo, Fox, Joke is probably going to go higher. But anyone's got 4 wins, you can probably assume they're going to get at least 2 more. You think the odds are they're going to get 2 more. But it's still wide open right here. It's tough to say if between True Boy and Tweez. I think Tweez has the advantage in that one. We should recap the scores from this week. So Tweez versus True Boy. Tweez won 21-9. Musafa versus Chaos. Musafa won 12-0. Dreeny versus Musafa Jones. Dreeny ended up pulling that out 37-23. And then True Boy versus Joke was a score of 12-5, which is just ridiculous. Dubby, he ended up blowing out Tweez 34-7. Dreeny won 27-24 in a close one, coming down to the last drive of the game, basically to get that big first down and ice it. And then Musafa versus Joke, he ends up winning 27-13. So it's a pretty tight race in this conference. It's really could go down to anyone. It just depends who's gonna win and lose here. You got to think that Joke, Problem are looking good, but I mean, when you think about the fact that Mustafa started out 0-3, I get anyone could take a big 3-game loss, and no one can really afford to lose 3 games. I mean, it's unfortunate for Chaos because he's at this position. He could have had a game in hand on so many other people, but those losses are really piling out. He pretty much has zero room for error at this point. So we'll see how he can do moving forward. We'll take a look at those matchups in a moment. So I wanted to take a look at the defense that Dubby had been calling here against Tweez, and that's how I really think he was able, to really run away with that game. I couldn't believe it. Just looking back at his play calling, he set up his defense the exact same way, essentially the exact same way the whole game. Like I couldn't believe it. Like that is commitment to your defense. Like he believed in what he was doing and he stuck to it. So I just want to kind of get into these plays here and let's take a look at it. This first play is from Tweez's first possession, 3 minutes into the game here, in the first 3 minutes. What am I saying? 3 minutes remaining in the first quarter here. So Tweez's ball, he's making some audibles at the line of scrimmage. As he drops back, we can see that Dubby has got the 3 deep blues, those 2 hook zones in the middle, and these 2 light blues on the outside. He's sending 3 men as heat, his down linemen, and he's got 1 man in a spy. Now this is out of the 3-3-5 odd, the New England playbook. He's calling the cover 3 cloud this whole way and just making a few adjustments to it. And this really does take up a good majority of the field, especially with just an active user. He's able to get really good coverage. But Tweez is able to roll out, and he's got that big post route coming forward, and he just gets a step on the receiver. And really what I think happens is that the defensive back in the deep blue on the side there, he gets a little held up and doesn't quite commit to the deep because of the way that route is just like cutting across the field. Dubby didn't seem to adjust him enough. It's just kind of a weird play and really catches him off guard. Tweez is hyped up to make that play. So Tweez ends up getting a touchdown on that drive, and then Dubby comes back and scores a touchdown of his own. So now Tweez has the ball and has started to move it down the field a bit here. So we see in this next play, he starts motioning out. As he drops back, we see Dubby, again, the exact same setup. Those 3 deep blues, those 2 hook zones in the middle. He's using one of those linebackers. He's got that spy right there. 3 men rushing the quarterback, and those 2 cloud flats on the outside. Just pretty interesting. It's getting great coverage across the field, and as long as his user is active, then he should have everyone in position to cover everything except for these little flats we can see are open. So he kind of, because he has them in those cloud flats, that's the only thing available to Tweez, and he takes it very quickly there. So the next play, we see Tweez make this audible into this pistol formation, having everyone on the left side. And Dubby does a great job of really adjusting all of his players for this play. Quickly, he gets set up in it. He stretches his wide, puts his safety over, and ends up deciding to user his safety on the weak side of the field since he just has no receivers over there. So it's the same setup we see here with he has just the 2 deep blues though, because he's usering one of them, but he's covering that 3rd deep blue. That's why I didn't put it up in the image there. And then he's got the clouds on the side, the same hook zones, and a spy as well. So we see this play, Tweez thinks he hasn't beat on the outside deep there, but he's got to make a spec catch, and on that jump it gets broken up on the outside. So close to making that completion, but Dubby, luckily I think because of the way he pulled and adjusted to that pistol to the left there, it was able to get the deep coverage. So here we go with the next play. Again, same look exactly, except there's only 2 down linemen because Dubby was still setting it up and he got stuck on one of those the defensive tackle there. So he starts to user back and gets a huge play from behind here. We see his CB in that cloud flat was able to just kind of like cut back and make that little one-handed like look behind stop from it, and gets a huge stop on 4th down on tweez. And look at Dubby's hyped on it. That's the kind of big plays you need. And like, really though, it's the same setup. All he believed in the defense that he had been giving tweez and thought that he could stop him. Tweez was actually having success on the run. W was just being patient and waiting to take advantage on those pass situations, which honestly he hadn't even really used a great user at all. So here we go. This looks very similar to that deep play, except switched side, and we see W gives him the exact same setup. He's on his user this time on the linebacker, has 3 men rushing the quarterback, a spy, 2 light blues, 3 deep blues. Tweez rolls out, and we can see he's trying to run that same play up the middle, though, this time. W gets a great click on, perfect timing, user pick, gets that ball right in the middle. See, sticking with his defense, believing that he could have the coverage there if Tweez tried to attack him in the middle field and deep. He thought he had it, and he was right. Like, that's just great commitment to your defense and showing what he can do. Then the next play we see, W gets another pick, same way, same thing exactly, then runs the ball back. So he's going to end up going up 27-7. I think he ends up winning at 34-7. So that's such a great play by W. But I thought we could actually take a look at that defense that he was using there today. So in the New England playbook, with the 3-3-5 odd, this cover 3 cloud right here. Okay. I'm going to base a line, go down and then up on the right stick. And actually, there's the base of line. That helps. Down and then up. So we've got the cloud flats on the side. You can see like Dubby. And we need to put him into a spy. I think he was kind of more like this. So it kind of gave it like a 3-4 kind of look. These guys switch. That is really weird the way I have them here. Wait, base the line off. Okay. Okay, there we go. They're in cloud flats. Let's see how this goes. Well, see the same thing. It kind of is. It's open to the flats there, but anything deeper should be covered. Let's see if we can do a better job setting it up this time. Whoops. Okay, yeah. You can get that weird setup where the hook zones were alternating sides this time. Well, same thing again. He's got that quick check down, but we're able to stop it immediately. Okay, base of line. Y down, Y up, so we get the cloud flats, then double tap RB, A, and right stick to the left for the QB spy. Alright, there we go, we got it all set up. Maybe he was kind of spreading them out, maybe do it like that. Kind of give him better support for the run. Sometimes he's moving the safety. Oh no, I clicked on the D now. All he's really got is that little check down, and he just keeps using it over and over. Base align, down on Y, up on Y, double tap RB, A, right stick to the left. We're in cloud flats, we're good to go. Maybe I can move this safety down, actually. See if that helps. This little check down on the side. Ooh, that gets kind of through. Wow, and he threads it deep. I feel like with 99 zone, that's probably going to get stopped, though. So that's kind of just a look at the defense that W was using. I'm probably going to try to mix that in when I am using the New England Patriots playbook, because it is just, you know, a good thing to have in there. So again, let's look at this. Dubby 3-3, and Dubby this week on the next games, he has got to play True Boy, he's got to play Musafa, and he's got to play Chaos. So I think, you think he's going to go 1-2, so he needs to go at least 2-1, I think, in there to secure 5-5, and undefeated gives him, was it 6-4? Oh, he's 3-3, so he's got 4. He's still got 1 game remaining after that one as well. W Musafa, W True Boy, W Chaos. Yeah, so he's still got 1 other one after this, so we'll see how it stands for him there. And for Musafa, he's playing Dubby Problem. He's only got 2 games this week, so he's still got 2 more remaining after that. Then we got Dreeny versus Chaos, Dreeny versus Tweez. So he's got 2 games this week as well. So he's looking good. He can really get into a good position if he can win both of those. And we're going to see Joke as well versus Tweez, which will be an interesting game. I feel like if Tweez can't adapt to Joke's offense, if he can't stop him, get the stops on defense, he's in trouble, because I feel like a shootout's going to go Joke's way. We saw what Dubby just did to him. If that's the case, it's not going to be good for him. And then Problem we're seeing against Musafa, who he lost to earlier in the year. So we'll see if he adapts this time. I feel like one thing Problem is going to do is adjust to what his opponent gives him, and he's going to be doing, I think, everything he can to make sure he doesn't lose again to Musafa, especially because he's just coming off a loss from Chaos, too. He needs these wins now to secure himself a place in the playoffs moving forward. What else do we say here? Tweez we talked about, Problem, Dubby, Chaos. Chaos has got Dreeny, Chaos has got Dubby. It's only 2 games for him this week, so he could get to 3-5 with 2 games remaining. I mean, he's got to win out. You got to think 4 wins is obviously not enough. 5 has got a chance at maybe sneaking in. True Boy's 3-4, so I mean, he's hoping. I mean, 2-1 would be great, but I mean, 1-2 is actually not. So maybe 5 is enough. We're gonna see here, but then also Dubby at 3-3, Tweez at 3-3. You got to win out. If you're Chaos, you're probably holding some of the cards at least, but you got to beat Tweez. You got to beat True Boy. So that'll be interesting. So again, these are the games this week: Tweez Problem, Dreeny Chaos, Joke Tweez, Dreeny Tweez. So I'm gonna say Tweez versus Problem. I'm saying Problem. Dreeny versus Chaos. Chaos isn't playing with desperation, so I think he's got a chance at it. Joke versus Tweez. I like Joke. Dreeny versus Tweez, that could go either way. I think Tweez, though, will pull that out. Chaos versus Dubby, I don't think Chaos is going to pull it out. I like the way Dubby's playing lately. Dubby versus True Boy, if he doesn't adjust to the run, then he's going to get beat, I think, actually. But True Boy, I don't like his chances there, to be honest. I'm going to say Dubby. Problem versus Musafa, I think Problem's going to recover and get that win. Dubby versus Musafa, again, I think that's going to go either way. Musafa, he's been playing amazing. He's on such a great streak. But like I said, I like the way Dubby's played. It's going to be a good battle, I think, that one. That could be the best game of the week, but I think I'm going to give it to Dubby. I'm surprised. I am, more and more, I'm just becoming a fan of Dubby. I'd say he's one of my favorite players to watch for some reason. Out of this division, and it's an interesting player, interesting game. So I'm excited to see this week and see what happens. So thanks a lot for checking out this episode of the Ultimate League Breakdown, episode 2. I'll be back next week. I'll catch you guys later.
Mad about you, baby. Yeah, I'm mad about